Shamina Begum has just lost the Court of Appeal decision to regain her citizenship in the UK. This means that she will now be stuck in a Syrian refugee camp run by the Kurdish authorities. She is effectively in state limbo, and although she is technically a dual citizen and also has a passport for Bangladesh, I think it's right in saying that Bangladesh has said that she has no right to return there and that they don't recognise her citizenship or have overturned it. So effectively, in denying her the right to come back to the UK, she is denied statehood, which is an extraordinary position. It's a position that I think is unwarranted, particularly as she left Britain as a minor when she was 15, 9 or 10 years ago. She was coerced into travelling to Syria, joining the Islamic State group, IS, where she married a fighter, had a number of children, all of whom died, and she's expressed remorse for what she's done. And surely out of an act of folly, when somebody is a schoolgirl, repenting and recognising that what she did was wrong, she should be redeemable. Now, the Home Secretary is acting on intelligence from the National Security Services, who say that she poses a risk to national security. We don't know what that intelligence is, and we're never going to know what that intelligence is, but the courts have been shown that intelligence. But the important point about this is that the courts aren't ruling on whether or not the Home Secretary is right or not in his decision to refuse her entry to the UK. The courts are making their decision on whether or not the Home Secretary has the right to make that decision. That's a different quality of judgment. Now, they may perfectly well turn around and say, well, they don't think he's made the right decision, but does he have that right to make that decision? And they're saying absolutely he does. And even if this goes to the Supreme Court, I think the focus will be on whether or not the Home Secretary has the right to make that decision, not whether or not it's the right decision. As we know, Home Secretaries at the moment seem to be only too minded to make the wrong decisions, but whether or not they have the right to make those decisions, that is the legal question. I think the same legal question can be applied to Rwanda. Does the Home Secretary have the right to make the Rwandan decision? I think not. And I think that's really where the Supreme Court is anchored in that particular muddle, and it's being very evasive because to go all the way and say no is to challenge the split between the judiciary and the government, and that is something done with great. It's fraught with great danger because it unbalances our constitution, and so on a technical basis, Shamina Begum is a dual national. It's a fictional basis now because she actually has no nationality. And I think on the basis that she was potentially trafficked, we should be reaching out to see if we can do something to help her. It may fall short of actual repatriation. It may fall short of freedom if she's repatriated. But I think we should be doing more than just simply delivering her into the hands of an entirely different state, and particularly a state entity that isn't that secure at the moment. And I think we should not be. I think we should not be seen to be behind a ruling which forces somebody to stay in a concentration camp or a refugee camp. That is not the civilized response. And we need to consider what is safe to do, what is prudent to do, what is right to do, and what is legally possible to do, or politically expedient to do. There's a range of different considerations, and I think they're all being jumbled up at the moment. And as ever, they're being jumbled up by her defence, and they're being jumbled up by the government lawyers as well. That's what these people do, I'm afraid. And in looking at this case, we really need to unpick it, because whether she was a potential victim of trafficking, as James Eady says, that's not important. He goes on and says the key feature is national security. The key feature is not national security. The key feature is the is whether or not the Home Secretary is right to exercise his authority, whether that authority is legitimate. That is the key feature for the prosecution. Everything else is secondary, and everything else is actually glitter in our eyes, I'm afraid.